right. Hey, so it's Anneke Godlewski here. I am here with another week of Maximum Storytelling. And today our special guest is Big Mike Albee from Texas. Thank you for joining us.
You bet. How are you doing today?
All throughout, great, great. It's so fun to have you on because you're always so much fun to be around. And you always have the best. You're always like, for those of you listening at home and not watching this video, I mean, Mike looks very not crazy today with his just normal Big Mike shirt on, but normally he has some hilarious hat or clever t-shirt or, gold chain or something that reflects his amazing personality. But it seems so calm today in your office.
Sometimes you got to play the part, you got to know when you can dress crazy and cut loose, and when you do that, when you need to throw on a suit and tie and smack it around in the courtroom, or so it all depends.
So every week we talk about on this podcast about, videos and storytelling and being your authentic self and being genuine. And I know that TikTok has been this platform that some people say that you should be a part of if you're an attorney to try to get more cases, but there's mixed opinions on it. But the one thing that's always held true is like only use a platform if it's part of like your personality, right? If it's something that's not forced. So when we saw your videos, we just thought that it was so awesome because that's the type of person that you are, right? You're just this fun guy who gets along with everyone and just is loving life. But so what, I mean, is that just something that you and your kids and Jane, your wife, like to do for a good time, I take it? Like on the weekends and stuff?
So, my wife will text me TikToks that are funny from time to time. And I did a dance video with my son in like April, and we got like 20 views or something, it's like nothing. And I've wanted to get into it. And so then there's trends that, take off. And so there was a guy who did a ocean spray thing where basically he's riding down the street on a skateboard, chugging ocean spray, and it went viral. And so then everybody's doing their spin. So I saw another video of a janitor who was riding in a mop bucket with a leaf blower, and an umbrella. And I thought, I could combine those two things. So I did that. And so that was my second video ever. And it took off big time.
So I'm gonna share my screen here really quick, and that way you guys can, who are watching this version, can see the video, the TikTok video. The sound, I don't know if the sound is going to come through, but it is it's Stevie Nicks, and you guys all know
Dreams is a song, yeah.
Yeah, the Cranberry Challenge. So hang on.
Fleetwood Mac, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so this is so awesome. Okay, so here's Big Mike in his Big Mike t-shirt.
Of course.
Using an echo leaf blower and an umbrella to ride a skateboard. So clever, so hilarious. But also the biggest, like one of the biggest takeaways was how, let me stop sharing my screen, was how timely it was, right? I mean, you did it because that was what was going on, but that's how it happens, right? Is if you like kind of ride the coattails of stuff that's already popular.
Yeah, and what's crazy too, though, is that one, it started taking off. And I'm hitting refresh, and I'm like, and I'm not even experienced with TikTok. One of the Haskins brothers says, this is going to go to FYP. And I had to Google what that was. And apparently, if your videos like really start taking off, they go on the For Your page, which is like the popular videos that a lot of people see.
Wow.
And so I'm refreshing, and it's like hundreds of views each time I'm refreshing. But then people started debating physics and saying, oh, this isn't possible, and this and that. I thought it was obvious I was going down a gradual hill, but apparently not. So then I took the exact same video and I reversed it. And then I said something like, people said the physics were off and da 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 da. And then I ended it with like saying, physics, yo. And that one went crazy. So the first one is like at about 2.1 million views, around 2 million, somewhere around there. And the second one is above 6 million views. And added it, and my wife and I went to Costco on a Friday night to get some stuff. I'm like, holy crap, it's taken off. And that one had 1 million views when I woke up the next morning, and it's still, I just get a lot of views and followers and everything from it. It's pretty funny.
Well, and then the video that you made of all the comments, right? The spoof on everyone's comments was
Yes.
just hilarious. Like, I mean, I don't know. It was really funny how you took on all the different personalities of the different people that had something to say about it.
Yeah, and that video was actually really good for helping me understand more about TikTok, because the videos can be up to a minute long, but most of them are about 15 seconds. And my intro to that was way slow. And so I was like, oh, this is funny. This will be good too. It fell flat for a period of time. It's gained traction since then. But it's interesting, on TikTok, you really need to get to the point, or else people are just going to scroll right on through.
But I think too, it's still kind of funny for your circle of people. I mean, all of your colleagues and, the clients that follow you, and, referral sources, and from a networking, like not small town, but smaller circle networking, it is hilarious. And it just shows your personality that, I don't know, you can connect with people, right? I mean, even if that video happens to fall a little bit lower than your amazing viral status, which is so fantastic, it still had a dual purpose too, which was really cool.
Yeah, no, it's, and I feel like my, coming out the gates, I got very lucky with how this happened, and it kind of skewed my expectations. I was talking with Jay and Seth earlier today, and I told them that I was like, dang, I fell below 300,000 views today. What's going on? And so it's just different, and so it's been interesting to figure out how the wave works and how I can ride that wave.
But do you find that that's kind of true of any new social media platform, or there's going to be something new that comes out, right? Eventually, because, Facebook, and then Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and Snapchat and all these different things.
MySpace is back in the day.
That's a really great point. Right, exactly. That's a good point, that you just have to figure out what it is, with the understanding that there's really not a ton of control over what people are going to latch onto. But so what advice would you have for anyone who's like trying to, show their sillier side and delve into something like TikTok?
So I would say two things. Number one, be authentic. When you try and do something that's not real, people, they realize it. I was actually, right before I came in, I was in the elevator, and these people were like, oh, you going to lunch? I go, no, I'm actually getting ready to do a podcast interview. And they said, what? And I said, yeah, I had a TikTok video that went viral, and apparently lawyers aren't supposed to do that. And so, yeah, I'm doing an interview. And they laughed. And then I said, I'm proud to be that lawyer. And this one gal was just like, that's awesome. So people are craving people who are authentic. And, we've got some stuffy people in our profession for sure, but most of us are people, right? And so just letting your authentic self come through is important. But then also content, and creating content is key, because seriously, if I have clicked on people who have followed me, I'm like, oh, cool. Wonder if they've got cool, funny stuff. 99% of people have no videos. It is an open market. So if you can get out there and start making content, it's going to resonate with some people, and you're going to get followers. You're going to grow, because everybody's too afraid to be themselves. And it doesn't have to be funny, goofy. Marco Brown's a divorce lawyer in Utah, and I'm not saying he's not fun, but he's very direct, and he does family law, and he answers those questions, and he's got hundreds of thousands of views as well, maybe even more than 1 million. I wouldn't be surprised. So actually definitely more than 1 million. So there's a way to do it. If you say, I'm not comfortable riding a skateboard down the street with an umbrella, well, that's okay. You just got to find what you want to do and clear out your space and own it.
Now, okay, so I noticed too that video, right, the TikTok video, it's also on YouTube, right? So, and you posted about it on Facebook, and you shared it around with everyone. So how I'm taking it that's important too, like not just sticking with one platform. I mean, we always talk about that with regular videos that we create, but I mean, even if it's something like TikTok, it's important to cross-reference everything and cross-post.
I'll agree with that, and I've done a terrible job. I'm working on it. I am.
No, I think you've done a great job.
I've got plenty of room for improvement. And that's okay because I will improve on it. That's okay. But I naturally am a Facebook person, so I started adding stuff on Instagram. But you also need to be mindful that the platforms are different, and so
Right.
I have started adding that. And then also I've added, at first I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I added my website domain to my TikTok profile. And so now people are clicking through to that. I haven't gotten a client from it yet, but that's something that kind of gets me brand exposure. Oh crap, this guy's a lawyer, those kinds of things. And that's a good thing. So I am working on getting it out to the different platforms. But I also, I've been naturally Facebook, so I kind of need to step it up and add on those other platforms as well, which I'm working on.
But to your credit, everything that, I mean, this is an outsider's perspective, and of course I'm a big fan, so I'm a little biased, but I mean, everything that you post and do, it just seems so genuine and so real. Like you're not trying to force it, right? You're not trying to make sure that it's tweeted about and also, put on Instagram 2.4 minutes after it posts to Facebook. So I think that helps too, that it's not stuffy or too rigidly scheduled, I guess.
Yeah, and I think I'm having to adjust how I do things as well, because historically I'm pretty dang real on Facebook, and I share a lot of the goofiness that goes on with me and my family. But usually I do a picture, and now I've started saying, oh, I should do a short video clip of this, because then I can share it on TikTok where I'm gaining momentum. And so most of the things, like last week, my wife and I were out shopping and doing Christmas errands and all this stuff. And I did the video footage for 3 TikToks, and they were all in moments from like, whoa, that'd be kind of funny. And some people don't have my same humor, and that's okay. But I did have it where it happened naturally, and they're 15 seconds long. Like we do 1 or 2 takes and that's it. So it's not consuming my whole Saturday. It's like, hey, hold on, babe, let me go film this real quick. And she's like, okay, whatever,
right.
And she goes with the flow. So yeah, it's got to be natural. And, eventually you've got to be mindful of that platform with how you're capturing that, because the picture won't work with TikTok, but on Facebook, that's worked fine with me for years,
Well, and that's a good point too, that you've filmed that footage, but you didn't necessarily have to use it immediately, right? Like you didn't have to go live that very second and do it. You can save it for later, which is perfect.
Yeah, I am like a whopping like 2.5 weeks into this whole TikTok thing, if you don't count my dance video with my son. And so I've had to figure out, like, how does this work, And so apparently TikTok likes it when you have regular content. And then even I did a TikTok live the other night, and supposedly that kind of boosts things a little bit too. And they don't record it right now. You just interact with people, and to be honest, it can be a little awkward, but it's like everything else. You just got to get out and try it, right? So yeah, it's you can definitely bank that away and save it for another time, and release it when it makes sense too, for your followers when they're more likely to see it.
I also really thought that it was clever, and I know that you probably weren't, the purpose of you doing this probably wasn't to try to be clever or get more views or anything, but tagging Echo, right? The manufacturer of the snow, or I keep saying snowblower because up here in Ohio, we get so much snow. And that's where my mind automatically goes. Leaf blower, the leaf blower. So, I mean, that too, it's again, engaging with other people, engaging with other companies, finding reasons to talk to other people, because as lawyers, it's hard for you guys to find a reason to reach out to others that doesn't involve the law, and the law is kind of boring. So just tagging them. That was cool. And then they put you on their Facebook too.
Yeah, so they shared it on their platforms. They sent me a little bit of swag. It was funny too. Here's another funny strategy. Imperfect is perfect, right? So the more flaws you have, the more likely you are to have people, number one, realize it's real. Number two, you get the like unique people who will comment on it. So I wear Birkenstocks a lot. They're comfortable.
Right.
And that's what I had on when I skateboarded. I have like hundreds of comments of people like, dude, check out his Jesus sandals and all this stuff. And I actually tried tagging Birkenstock to see like, hey, y'all don't have a single video on TikTok. This might be one you might want to share, but no response. But yeah, it's when I am who I am. And the funny thing is I didn't know this, but my umbrella had a Pebble Beach golf logo on it.
Oh.
And I've never been there. I'd love to, but I bought it at Costco. And this one guy started debating me because supposedly he works at Pebble Beach. Says you can't buy those at Costco. And I'm like, that's where I buy all my umbrellas. So
I did.
Yeah. I'm like, whatever, But yeah, it's interesting. People really pay attention to things that you wouldn't think twice about. And but that gets comments and more views and more traction. And so yeah, now I kind of almost like slip things in that are messed up on purpose.
Normally Josh is on these podcasts with me, but he and I talk about all the time, all of the bloopers that, naturally happen when you're trying to do an interview or whatever. And instead of hiding them, we made a collage. We've made collages of all of the bloopers in the past because you're right. People love that kind of stuff because they can see their own hilarious human errors in it when they're watching. They're like, okay, well, good. I'm glad that happens to someone else and not just me.
Yeah, and I think that I've referred to this in other interviews as well about the Osbournes, Ozzy Osbourne. They were one of the earlier reality shows, and people got sucked in because they realized that even though they might have millions and millions of dollars, their family doesn't. Their kids still talk back. They still don't take the garbage out, and they're very normal in their own way. And we like that. That's where we start to realize, we get some kind of a connection. And so I think that's just really, really important to let that shine through.
Especially in your guys' industry. I mean, your clients are coming to you because they're so stressed out. They're worried. They're worried of admitting to someone else, to a quote unquote stranger, their new attorney, all the things that are on their mind and that are bothering them. So I think seeing that you are so approachable and that you are a human being could even help open up that communication channel maybe and help them to be a little bit more open with what they're worried about, which can mean that you can help them even better because you know what their ultimate goals are with getting through the case.
Yeah, and I think too, it can also help them. I mean, there's going to be some people who will see a TikTok video that I've done or another lawyer, and they're going to say, no way, I am not hiring that guy. And that's okay. I kind of view it like dating, like, thank goodness I'm not married to some of my ex-girlfriends, right? Like, I hit the jackpot with Jane, So it's, not everybody's a perfect fit, but it's a big world out there. There's plenty of people that we can help, and it will resonate with some people and not with others. But the good news is lawyers who are very different than me will be a perfect fit for those people. And as long as they're getting help, that's what matters. And we're all just different, and life's beautiful. So that's okay.
That's awesome. I love that. Okay, so you did the dance with your son. I think that that's like the perfect way for these attorneys, even if they're a little on the fence, if they want to delve into TikTok just a little bit or like test the waters, they should totally get their kids involved. I mean, your kids are awesome and hilarious as well. Also, it probably wasn't that hard to convince them, but I don't know. It's so cool that you guys do that as a family too.
My wife doesn't like it very much, but she plays along, so I also go to Bed Bath and Beyond with her, so that's our balance there. We compromise, but no, she's a good sport. And the kids think it's cool. And even my daughter, she came home the other day and said that this kid said, "There's no way that's your dad. That's not your dad. You're lying." You know. And then some of her friends have followed me, and then actually yesterday she said, "Dad, can I get some shirts for some friends at school? They want some shirts." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So it's fun. It's helping
That's so cool.
connect with different people, and also those people who have those shirts, I hope their parents don't get in a car accident, but if that did happen, they're going to remember, hey, there's this big Mike guy who his daughter's friends with my daughter or whatever, and hopefully I can help them if that happens. Best situation is they don't get hurt, but we'll be there to help.
Right. Well, yeah, and plus, I mean, you've already made the connection and you've already shown, like the genuine interest, the care and concern before they even need help. So it would be a natural progression if they did, because they'd feel comfortable coming to you.
Totally.
That's so awesome. Well, thank you so much for filling us in on all this. We thought it was so cool. And, since we know you and like, we know that guy. I was like, my friend went viral on TikTok. It was so cool. You're telling from Toledo, Ohio, where not many exciting things happen here. So I get very excited about it, but it's super, super cool.
Yeah. No, and I think too, I just want to say, like I said, people who are interested in doing it as lawyers, they can focus on providing knowledge. If you're not comfortable with dancing and skateboarding and stuff like that, that's okay. I think Elizabeth Pickle, she does a fun job of doing the fun dance and getting, a little business stuff in there. And she got, I think she said 7 consults a week or 2 ago from a TikTok video. So it's out there for the taking. Whoever wants to get out there and do content, whatever you're comfortable with, it will do nothing but help you.
And I don't mean to speak on your behalf, but hopefully I'm allowed to say that if anybody does have a TikTok video that they want to throw out there and you want somebody to follow, just let us know and we'll make sure that Viral Big Mike follows you and likes it and shares it and all those good things.
Yeah, I'm very open on social media. I love connecting with people, whatever the platform. I do. There's one time I hide stuff, and that's if I travel and I have a friends list, and it's called "Won't Rob Me." And these are people who I personally know who won't break into my house and rob me while I'm out of town. So what I do is I'll share my pictures while we're traveling to that group, and then when we get home, I'll share them with my friends. But I really think, Mitch Jackson's a real big fan of humanizing yourself and sharing who you are. So I don't mind. I hope that my clients Google me when they've read my Google reviews. Who is this guy? I want them to look, oh, his family's cute. Look at that. He's got 2 boys and a little girl. Oh, no, his wife loves him. I want that. I want them to know there's a real person here to help them.
Awesome. Thank you. That's awesome advice for attorneys. Okay, well, I'll make sure that all the links to his videos are posted so you guys can check them out. And for everyone at home or listening in your car, whatever, feel free to go online and see all of those links as well. And thank you, Mr. Albee, for joining us this week of Maximum Storytelling every Wednesday, 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern. We would love to see you.
You bet. Thanks for having me.